Here's a quick overview for our homework Thinkcentral lesson 4-6. First, let's unpack it. Mia saves the change from her lunch money every day. She gets 34 cents in change, and she has been saving for 21 days. Mia uses the steps below to find out how much money she has saved so far. Let's complete the table. So first we're going to multiply by the number in the ones place. So 1 times 4 cents is 4 cents, which is 4 cents, which is 4 cents. 1 times 30 cents is 1 times 30 cents, which is 30 cents, which is 30 cents. Step 2, multiply the number in the tens place. 20 times 4 cents equals 20 times 4 is 80 cents, and 20 times 30 cents is 20 times 30, which is 60 dimes, or $6. So this would be 0.80, and this would be $6 like that. So we add those up, and so far she has saved $7.14. Basically what they're doing here is they're using place value section model, and they're multiplying 30 or 0.30 times and 0.04 times 20 and 1. So they're doing place value section, and that's why we have the different partial products. Second question is, there are blank decimal places in the factor 34. Well, if you see, there are 2 decimal places in 34. So there should be 2 decimal places in the answer, and there's 2 decimal places in the answer. The number of decimal places will always equal, in the factors will always equal the number of decimal places in the product. Alright, this is going to be the exact same format using the place value section model. Except this time we're selling twice as much spice in the future as they do now. So 2 times 1 ton is 1 ton and 0.1 ton, 0.1 ton, which is 0.2 tons. Because the second one, 0.3 tons, they're 2 times that. So because 0.3 plus 0.3, I guess they're just showing, instead of multiplication, repeated addition is 0.06. And then 2 times 0.08 tons will be 0.16 tons, because 0.08 and 0.08 will equal 0.16, and then 0.6 and 0.6 will be 1.2. So basically you're just doubling each amount of spice that they made. Now, the number of decimal places in the product is equal to the number of decimal places in the factors, because here you have 1 decimal place here, 1 decimal place here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 1 and 1. So equal to. Alright, it's time to go to decimal island. So just remember this. This is a palm tree. This is a decimal point. See the little decimal point right there? They do not like to multiply. So they go on vacation, and they climb up and they hide in the palm tree. Then you just multiply as if there was no decimal there, because there isn't. They're on decimal island. So assuming the decimal is not there, this is basically just 6 times 3, which is going to be 18. So 6 times 3 is 18, and once the multiplication is finished, he comes back, and he starts here, and he goes back to his place, which is 1 space over. So the answer here is 1 8/10. And that is the story of Decimal Island. Alright, we're back to Decimal Island, except this time there are 2 decimal places, so they both run away. They both go over here, and they hide up there. So there's 2. And they hide in the palm tree. This is multiplying 8 times 3, which is 24. Then they come back. So the 2 decimal places come back, and they go over 2 spaces to where they belong. So your answer is going to be 24 hundredths, or 0.24. Same time, let's go on vacation. 2 decimal places. They run away. They hide. Then you multiply 103 times 11. Let's do the sprinkler math method. So you have 3 times 1 is 3, 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 1 is 1. X that out right there because you're multiplying by the next place value. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1. You add those up. 3, 3, 1, 1. The decimals come back and they go over 2 spaces, and the answer is 11 and 33 hundredths. Jesse wants to buy 21 anglefish. He must have a fish tank. Each anglefish costs $2.37. What is the total cost going to be? So we can do place value section if you want. If you wanted to do it that way, you could have the $2 here. You could have the 30 cents here. You could have the 7 cents here. And you can multiply that by 2 and by 1. And you could do it that way. So this is one way we could do it. But instead, I'm going to go old school sprinkler math. Well, let me just do it this way. Anyway, so 2 times 20 is 40. 20 times 30, remember there's 2 decimal places, so it's the same as 3 times 20, which is 60, but the decimals have to come back from vacation, so it's 0.6. Here we have 2 decimal places here. That is 20 times 7, which is 140, but there's 2 decimal places and they come back, so it's 1.4. And then you have, I'm sorry, this one is wrong. This was actually $6. 30 times 20 is 600, so it's actually 6, not 0.6. And then 1 times 2, 1 times 0.30, and 1 times 0.07. So let's add these all up. You get 42 plus $6.30 plus $1.47, and that's going to equal 49 and 77 cents. So $49.77. And if you estimate it, about 20 times 2 is, yeah, it seems like a reasonable estimate. The other, notice that you have 2 decimal places here and 2 decimal places here. All right, a problem like this, we're looking for patterns when you multiply by powers of 10 or decimal places. So in this one, there's 1 decimal place. 1 decimal place. 2 times 3/10 is the same as 2 times 3 times 1/10, which is 6 times 1/10, which is 6/10. So look at the pattern in all these, and then we'll figure this out. So 3 times 2/10 is the same as 3 times 2 times 1/10, which is going to be 6 times 1/10, which is going to be 6/10. So just look at the pattern in each of these problems to figure out that you're just moving the decimal 1 place over to the left when you multiply by a decimal. And that is multiplying by decimals, decimal shifts. Remember, when you multiply by a decimal, it gets smaller, so the decimal point will shift to the left. And when you divide, in the future, if you divided by a decimal, the decimal point would move to the right because the number would be getting larger because you're dividing by a smaller unit. So multiplying by a decimal, a part of a part is a smaller part. Good job, and we'll see you tomorrow.